Hello and welcome to my lesson on pronoun. My name is Ife Perioke, and always I love to be your assistant when it comes to better attempts on creative writing and grammar. Pronouns. Pronouns is one of the 8 parts of speech. It's a family of words, and when not understood, you may have pitfalls when it comes to the usage of pronouns. Many people speak, but not so many people know they've been making mistakes with the use of pronouns all their life. In this lesson, you will come to understand what pronouns mean, which is something I bet you already know. You would also come to understand the types of pronouns and how they are used. The usage of pronouns, how appropriately you must become when using pronouns. And of course, there are 3 persons when it comes to the use of pronouns. In this lesson, you will also get to understand the 3 persons in the use of pronouns. All right, everybody knows that pronouns represent the parts of speech that replaces a noun. If I say, Mrs. Efe is a teacher online. Mrs. Efe teaches English, grammar, and creative writing. Mrs. Efe loves to engage her listeners and learners so that they become better writers and speakers of English. I kept repeating Mrs. Efe 3 times. How do I get to avoid those repetitions? Pronouns. Pronouns help us avoid repetitions. When writing, take note of the times you always repeat subjects, the things you talk about. Nouns. Whenever you repeat them, it's a pointer that you have to, perhaps when proofreading, replace them with what? Pronouns. So pronouns replace nouns in sentences. All right? So pronouns are words used to replace nouns in sentences. In other words, pronouns can replace people, the names of people, the names of places, the names of animals, or things in a sentence. Examples of pronouns include she, he, we, me, it, them, and so on and so forth. Now, these pronouns can be grouped in the singular and plural categories. All right? Now, she typically replaces a female, and the plural of she is they. He represents a male in a sentence, and the plural is also what? They. Now we have her and we have him. Her and him replace females and males in sentences, and the plurals of both words are the same, which is them. We also have it. It usually replaces lifeless and inanimate objects in sentences. So instead of using the name of an object in a sentence, I use it. The plural of it is also them. Note this, it can also be used to represent a person with an unknown identity. For instance, it can be used to represent a baby at the time of birth, a baby without an identity yet, that the baby doesn't have a name yet, so I can communicate the baby in terms of a pronoun as it. It is also used to replace the names of animals. All right, so that's as far as the many uses of it is concerned. Now, these are a few pronouns that represent people and things, objects. All right, there are more examples of pronouns which can be better categorized under the types of pronouns. Now, there are many types of pronouns. Listen to the audio to get the explanations of the different types of pronouns. Pronouns in grammar. Our topic today is on pronouns. In this lesson, you will understand the concept of pronouns and identify different types of pronouns through the examples given. What are pronouns? Pronouns, as you know, are words used in place of nouns. There are different types of pronouns. First, we have personal pronouns, we have demonstrative pronouns, we have possessive pronouns, we have relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, and reflexive pronouns. What are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns represent people. Examples: I, you, he, it, we, and they. We use sentences to illustrate their usage, such as she is reading a book. 2. Demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns point to specific things. You could literally see your hands extended out while using demonstrative pronouns. Examples are this, that, these, and those. You could use demonstrative pronouns in sentences like, this is my pen. These are my pens. That is his brother. Those are his brothers. 3. Possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns show that someone owns something. Someone or something owns something. They show ownership. Examples are mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, and theirs. We use them in sentences like, the book is hers. Those shelves are mine. The animals in the field are his. Next, relative pronouns. Relative pronouns connect clauses. They act as conjunctions, but they are pronouns. Examples: who, whom, whose, which, and that. In a constructed sentence, a relative pronoun could be used thus: the person who called is my friend. Interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns, as the word interrogative suggests, are pronouns that are used to ask questions. Examples are who, whom, whose, which, and what. In a question such as, who is coming to the party? Who in that sentence represents a person and it asks a question, and that is why who is an interrogative pronoun amongst others. Reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are used for actions that reflect back on the subjects. That is, the subject who does the action in a sentence. Reflexive pronouns reflect the actions done in the sentence back to the subject. Examples are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Notice that these pronouns always have the words self, selves used together with other pronouns to form the reflexive pronouns. In a sentence, a reflexive pronoun can be used thus: he hurt himself. In that sentence, himself is referring back to the subject he, and that's why himself is called a reflexive pronoun. Now, these are all examples of pronouns. It's important to know all the types of pronouns, how they are used, in order to use your pronouns correctly when speaking.